Hi, my name's Joe Andrews. I don't teach any grades where I have to use books to help learn how to read. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to present a book that I've read in my classroom before for the accelerated reader, and how I can tie in this book to world events and why people needed to read this book at the time that it was made. I love this book. It's one of my favorite books of all time. It's All Quiet on the Western Front by Eric Maria Remarque. This book is just all around great for a perspective on World War I where no one really knew who the bad guys were at the time. In World War II, everyone knew that Nazis were bad, the Germans were bad guys. In World War I, there was no clear-cut enemy. It was all the alliance system is what caused the war. This country was allied with another country, and that's what caused the tensions to rise. And finally, they decided to attack each other because the Germans said, hey, we have to take these people into custody or get them in enough trouble because of what they did when they murdered our Archduke Ferdinand. And what this book does is it takes the perspective of a German soldier. His name is Paul Baumer, and it goes on his story of his experiences during World War I. Now, he's a German soldier, but the way the author writes the book is allowing you to get that perspective that, hey, these people are human and they have these feelings just like the Allies did at the time. And because a big thing of war is propaganda and making the enemy seem like they're not human, so it's easier to get rid of them. And that was some of the things that we talked about when we read this in my AR class. It gives experiences of him just being a normal human. I mean, because that's what he was. He was just born in the wrong time. He was born in the time of extreme darkness in human history. Goes through the story of how he and his squad mates were really good friends who went through basic training together. They went to grammar school together. So this is before there was even high school and stuff like that in Germany. It was all the grammar school, and then they went on to be their own man after that. 18, 19 years old, and he's already seen the worst that humanity has to offer. This book goes deep into the human psyche of what war can actually do to people and how these men either come out changed or they don't come out at all. And this book gets you to fall in love, in a sense, with Paul and his character, how he's just in the wrong place at the wrong time. And eventually the book ends, and unfortunately he is shot on the front line. And hence the name All Quiet on the Western Front, because he was shot like days before the war was ended in November of 1918 on Armistice Day. This book is a great read for those of you maybe thinking about middle school or high school. I read it to my sixth graders, so they were considered middle school for the AR class. And then there's a movie adaptation to it as well, so that's why I decided to read this book. Although it is one of my favorite books I've ever read, it's good for people to read the experiences of a war that is not really remembered because it wasn't as glorious as World War II was, when there was that clear-cut enemy who we were fighting. That's it. Again, All Quiet on the Western Front by Eric Maria Remarque.